The man drifted helplessly in the sea for 3 days and 3 nights. Just when he was falling into despair, he finally saw land. He quickly held onto a piece of wreckage and reached the beach. Barefoot, he cautiously walked toward the forest, hoping to find signs of human life. But no matter how long he shouted, no one responded. The only answer he got was the sound of the ruthless waves. So the man used his feet to draw a help signal on the sand, hoping a passing plane might spot it. Then he used branches to build a simple shelter on the beach. Exhausted, he planned to rest and make further arrangements the next day. Late that night, just as Tom lay down to sleep, strange noises suddenly came from the forest. Facing an unknown threat, he immediately became alert and grabbed a stick to defend himself. The next morning, he saw that half of his help signal had been washed away by the waves. To survive, he hurried to choose a wider and safer place beyond the reach of the tide and rebuilt a bigger help sign. Luckily, several boxes had washed ashore. Tom collected them all, they might be useful later. Just then, the strange sound came from the forest again. He cautiously called out, but there was no answer. As he walked toward the sound, a large leaf suddenly fell from a tree. It turned out the strange noise was just leaves dropping. Realizing this, Tom finally relaxed. He then collected more leaves. He hadn't had water for a whole day. He lifted the leaves to his face and squeezed hard. Surprisingly, such a small amount of water nearly made him cry from relief. But the moisture wasn't enough. He tried again, pressing harder. A stone beside him suddenly cracked open. In his hand was a sharp-edged stone. With this tool, Tom started cutting the leaves to extract water. After several attempts, he finally opened them properly. But the water was still too little. Learning from the failure, he used the sharp stone to carefully cut a small opening and successfully collected more dew. He drank it gratefully. After recovering a bit, he grabbed a stick and went to search the area for more chances of rescue. He walked from morning till afternoon, finding only one more box and nothing else. Even worse, he realized he had walked in a circle and returned to where he started. Feeling hopeless, he climbed the highest cliff to find out if this was truly a deserted island. But as he climbed, sharp rocks cut his foot badly. Tom tore off his pants, cut the fabric with the stone, and wrapped it around his wound to make a simple bandage. Then he stuffed grass into his shoes for cushioning. After 1 hour of climbing, he finally reached the top. Looking down, he saw the island was completely surrounded by ocean, not another piece of land in sight. Realizing he was trapped on a deserted island, Tom sank into despair. Before he could process his grief, he suddenly spotted a floating body in the sea not far away. Filled with hope, Tom rushed down the mountain and swam toward it with all his strength. It was the co-pilot from his crashed plane, but he was already dead. Tom dragged the body ashore and searched him for useful items: a flashlight, a pair of shoes. Though the shoes were 2 sizes too small, he trimmed them to fit. He then buried the co-pilot and carved his name and date of death into a rock. By sunset, Tom discovered part of his help sign had again been washed away. Determined to survive, he gathered more wood from the forest and rebuilt a larger and more visible signal further up the beach. To get protein, he tried catching fish with a wooden spear, but after stabbing the water for a long time, he didn't even get a tiny shrimp. As night fell, he lay in his shelter feeling a crushing sense of loneliness. The only thing keeping him going was a photo of his fiancée. Half a month passed, yet no rescue came. Tom gradually adapted to life on the island. Every morning, he drank dew from the leaves, and he collected the droplets with leaf cups. He even used sand as a makeshift toilet. One night, Tom was shocked to see a distant light on the horizon, a cargo ship passing by. This was his only chance to escape. He shouted desperately, but the ship was too far to hear him. He grabbed the flashlight and waved it frantically, but the weak beam was swallowed by the vast darkness of the sea. The ship drifted farther away. He quickly pulled out his life raft, wrapped clothes around his head as protection from the sun, and brought the flashlight and his fiancée's photo. Then, he paddled toward the ship with all his might. But he underestimated the power of nature. Strong currents kept pushing him back. He rowed for hours, yet couldn't get any closer. Still, he refused to give up. He rowed nonstop until a massive wave suddenly hit him, flipping the raft. Worse, his legs. At that moment, heavy rain poured down. He quickly covered his supplies with the life raft while he hid inside a cave. Fortunately, he found a small pool of fresh rainwater inside the cave. He drank greedily and, comforted by nature's gift, fell asleep. Unfortunately, he forgot to turn off the flashlight. His hope of signaling for rescue slowly drained away along with its dying battery. When Tom woke the next morning, he noticed his wound had already